Hello there. Today I will be making a simple beet stew from a Game of Thrones recipe book I found at Barnes & Noble. But that is not the point of this video. The point of this video is for me to just ramble on. And today's topic, artificial intelligence, because everyone's talking about it, and I have absolutely no expertise on the subject, so I'm clearly someone we should be paying attention to. I have a few thoughts and things just going through my mind, and I wanted to shout into the void. Now, it's hard not to be a little bit concerned with how fast everything is moving. They just came out with that new, I think it's Sora, where basically you can just put in a prompt and it will create fully fleshed out videos that look insanely polished in mere moments. So when you see that compared to where we were like a year ago, it's a little disconcerting. But one thing that I've noticed in this whole conversation is the other side of creativity that's sort of lost when you're outsourcing it to a computer. So, the act of creating is, how do I even put it? It's one of the few sources of fulfillment in my life, and it's one of the few times that my brain actually shuts off. And I notice when I remove creative activities from my life, that energy has to go somewhere, and it usually goes into relatively negative things, just mindlessly consuming, whether that be food or YouTube or Netflix or whatever, or something else. And so the first thing I've been thinking about is, if everybody's just using AI to create whatever, is there something else that's going to be lost in the process? Like, what are we going to spend that time on? Like, maybe it's just going to be sort of a creativity calculator where the AI will do sort of the base level stuff. It'll create the images and all that, and human beings will still take that and sort of elevate it to another level. That's where I hope it'll go. If you think about it, like maybe if you're doing calculus, the calculator can do all this simple mathematics, but you have to understand the higher level math to really make it work. So I do wonder what things are going to look like 5 years from now when I assume, any sort of design process is going to be able to be done by artificial intelligence. And I wonder how people are going to spend that time, I guess is what I'm thinking. And then I wonder what space human beings are going to occupy as a result. So for me, I look to 20 years ago when the music industry had a huge crisis. It's kind of similar to what's happening now in terms of you had Napster, which allowed people to essentially download music for free, and so that destroyed the music industry's main source of revenue, which was selling records. So what did the music industry have to do? Well, first they tried to resist, which you can't really resist technological change. So they had to pivot, and so they pivoted to live shows, and that has turned into an incredibly lucrative process. So I wonder if that's what's going to happen. Human beings are just going to have to pivot into maybe a more not ethereal, but physical format in some way that's going to be harder to replicate. And then the only other thing I'm thinking is that, so when I look at these images and these videos, some of them look a little bit goofy, but then others look insanely polished. And so we're already kind of seeing this deluge, or just like this outpouring of sort of AI-generated content on places like YouTube, where the person's clearly using like an AI script, an AI voice, AI editing, and all that kind of stuff to create their videos. And the videos look relatively polished, but you can tell it's AI. And I do wonder if people are going to start seeking the novelty of clearly, DIY, sort of less polished work as a result. Like, as human beings, I think we, to some degree, just crave novelty. And so if everything looks amazing and sounds amazing and it all starts to blend together, so I wonder if going the opposite direction and not intentionally making things bad, but just having a very human touch to things is actually going to make the art stand out. So that's really what's been going through my head. I have a relatively positive outlook on where things could go. I think as human beings and society, we're gonna figure it out. I mean, maybe we'll have to become cyborgs, but I have faith. We've figured it out many times before, and I think we can figure out again. And so as you can see here, the beet soup looks pretty terrible. I'm kind of freeballing it at this point. I stopped following the recipe. I went a little bit rogue. But yeah, those are some of my thoughts. I don't think anybody's going to see this, but if you do, leave a comment and tell me what you think. Or tell me you hate me. Whatever makes you happy. See ya.